Alright guys, I got a Kenmore heater here, and got it all taken apart. It's not wanting to turn on. It's got this button panel here, and as you can see, I mean, they've been severely beaten up. I guess the customer told me he had to keep pushing harder and harder and harder to get the buttons to push in, and eventually he pushed so hard that it just pushed right through. And what had happened is it pushed so far in that that plastic button in there at the bottom there was actually pushing up against. Let me get it set back up. I mean, it was like pushed in like that. And I mean, it's been pushing. He's been pushing hard on it for quite a while because it's broke all the little bits and plastic in here, and it's just cracked them all. But anyway, it had been pushed in, and when this was bolted down at one point, that button, as you can see, has stayed on. And when you push the power, so I have it on right now. So it's not wanting to turn on at all because that button's pushed in. So I separated this piece, and now if I can do it one-handed, I don't know. No, I'm not gonna be able to do it one-handed. I will try. I'm gonna get my knife up under here and twist. Actually, I can just short these two out, but it doesn't want to turn on because that button, for some reason, you push the button, that button when it's on, and it doesn't want to turn on. So you have to turn it off, and then it turns on, but it hasn't turned on yet. So I'll go ahead and act like I'm pushing the power button now since I got this moved up out of the way. There it is. Well, I think I accidentally pushed it twice maybe. Oh, you sucker. There. And now it's on. So it's just because whenever he would push the power button, and it would push this heater button first and the power button at the same time, and it won't turn on that way. So what I'm going to have to do is leave these like that, and see that piece right here as well, like the overheat LED, the light. It's been busted. Oh yeah, so you can see bits and plastic breaking off because it was being pushed in too hard. That little LED was actually mounted right here, but the pieces for it have, just broken off. So what I want to do is just probably hot glue that board back, on here where it goes, and hot glue this board. And instead of using this this junk style switching, I mean, these switches are stupid. They should have never put these types of buttons on here. I mean, they're just too hard to push. Just junk. So what I want to do is solder some wires onto these buttons here and route them. See, it actually goes through here. When this is shoved back into the casing, you have like just a little gap, and then the switches sit on top of the wood here. The wires will come through here, and I'll put a little hole here and a grommet so they don't get cut because there's a sheet metal here. And they'll come out through here, and I'll drill holes on this back cover, 6 holes for the buttons. So the buttons will actually be on the back now. which is kind of inconvenient, but there is a remote control, I do believe, for this model, so it won't be too bad. At least you won't have these crappy buttons here. I guess if you had a replacement panel, you could do that, or you can actually cut these out, like this one. You can actually cut these out and take that plastic thing out, and you're left with just a button under there, and then you can just use like a pencil or like the eraser part of the pencil and just click it on like that. This is just a real stupid design, how they made these. So, oh well. But that's how I'm going to fix this one. So if you have a similar issue, this should fix it. I was thinking maybe the board in there had a bad fuse or some sort, or a bad relay or something, but it turned out to all be good in there. And all the little safeties and whatnot that are in there were all good. So I checked out this, and it was, when this was all bolted down, the bolt holes are actually under these piece of plastic here. When this was all bolted down, this was like all in a bind, and when this was completely flush, it was pushing on this button here, and that was the problem. So I'm just going to put some external switches or buttons right here, momentary push buttons. You can buy them on eBay for like a 10-pack for like $5. They're just real small, I think 1/4-inch push button switches. So I'll just reroute them back to here. You could get creative and drill holes into the wood here and put the switches on top, or even like right here, because there is, there's a good bit. So you can put the switches right in there if you really wanted to, but I don't want to drill into the wood or anything. So I'll just put them right back here in this area, and corresponding to, I think it'll be like this. And the power button, will be over here, and the heat button, and then, put them in order to where all you have to do is just feel back behind there and click them, so. And then you'll just never use these buttons again. I might put some washers in between here or something, just in case someone does try to push the button, or maybe even take these plastic things out, but then I'd have to cut it up, and then it'll look bad again. So I'll just probably just leave this bolt out over here, and then it'll be fine, as long as no one pushes those buttons ever again. So yeah, I'll do something like that. Yeah, that's how I'm going to fix this one.